Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Okay, so I get a lot of comments on the videos and I'll make a video about them when I see the comment quite a bit, right? And it's usually a question. And today I saw a question that said, "Hey, how do I know if the person is my person?" Because some coaches say that if I haven't been able to manifest them back, then it's not my person and that the universe has someone better for me, as if it's just not meant to be, right? Now, I don't watch other content creators on this subject, and I have no hate for anyone else or anything like that for what I'm about to say, but I am going to say that, like, you are the one that creates the meaning. You, right? And I also want to say that you are the universe. You are not separate from this universe, right? You are literally like one with it. It's you. You the universe playing in a human body for a little while, literally. Just like my dog's the universe playing in a dog body. That's it, right? And everything else. So there is no like holding, like the universe holding something back just until you learn your lessons or whatever the case may be, and I got something better for you. Like, no, you determine the meaning. You're the one that says something's better or not better. You're the one that says something's good or bad. Everything's meaningless. You're the one that decides better. So like there is no separate like entity telling you what's better. So if you say something is your person, then it's your person. And I would focus more, instead of listening to content that's pretty much saying that consciousness is not the only reality, I would focus more on the idea that consciousness is the only reality. Right? Now, I had a session with somebody the other day, and it was a fella, right? Been getting a lot more men on the one-on-ones. Was really cool. It's something I wanted to it's something I literally affirmed, well, not affirmed for, but said this is how it's going to be now. I guess that's affirming, but not like the way you think. And yeah, more men had booked sessions. And it's really cool because like I'm a guy, right? And I love the talking to the women. Well, all I'm saying is that like something was mentioned in the manifesting the woman back process of like, I don't want to be a simp, right? I don't want to be chasing, because men, if we get on content that's anything other than consciousness as the only reality, it's like, men, don't be a simp, don't chase, and it's like no one should be chasing, right? In general, whether it be women or men, but you get what I'm saying. And I was like, listen, if these men, I was like, I get that. I saw that content when I was trying to manifest, my person back too, right? And I see that too, or saw that stuff too. But if somebody online is telling you, hey, women do this, hey, women do that, hey, women are like this, and they've cheated on me, or they've done this before, and that's why I know it is now. It's like, no. Consciousness is the only reality. So that happened to that person, through that person, and that person was actually fearful. So fearful that it happened to them, and then they got online and started calling everybody simps if they did the same thing, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is that like you need to start seeing everything as consciousness is the only reality. You don't buy into something saying that like, oh, or for the women that men are doing this. If a man does this, it's like in that person's experience, probably happened. Sounds like they got a pretty steady belief about how things go for them, right? So, but it doesn't have to be yours. You need to understand consciousness is the only reality. And if you hear somebody say something, you're like, oh, that's true. That for sure, that's true for them. I don't care if it's a law of assumption person or a law of attraction person or whatever. Like, they are only telling you their experience. And I'm sure it is true for them. But like, if someone's telling you that like the universe has something better, or like it's not meant to be, if you think that, if you buy into that, or if you buy into that it's not meant to be because you haven't been able to manifest them back, then it becomes true for you, because your consciousness is your only reality. What you can do is say, well, consciousness is my only reality. So if I haven't been able to manifest somebody, that just means that I'm not doing what I think that I'm doing, because like there isn't anybody better if I say there's not. There isn't anybody better fit for me If I say that there's not, if I want that person, then it's good, then it's as good as mine. That's my person. And now all I got to do is drop any kind of story as to why that's not a thing. Get stable, be a priority in my own life, focus on myself, and tell a story. The new story is the true story kind of thing, and that's going to show. Mainly from dropping all the fucking story on why it's not, though, right? That's it. And if you let somebody just reflect back your already doubts of that might not be your person. Maybe there's someone better. That could be something as simple as you thinking that. Maybe you watched a law of attraction video and it's like this or something better, and then you're like, oh, maybe there is something better. And then a coach presents himself and they tell you, hey, this if you haven't been able to manifest your person, it's because the universe got something better for you. And you're like, oh, okay, really? Like, and then you get on my video and you say, hey, can you talk about this? Because it's like, dude, you're confusing yourself. I get it. I love you. But I'm saying I get it. There's so much information, but it needs to come back down to consciousness is the only reality. And if you see somebody walking around like really intent on how women are, or really intent on how men are, and it's kind of aggressive, right? I'm sure those things are true for a lot of people, right? But so is the opposite. Like, and if you look at at the way that some of these people are explaining it and their story as to why things are like this and how they learned the hard way, it's because they were living in fear that these things were going to happen. It was because they were looking at their person as them going to do these things. And then instead of like finding law of assumption, they're like, okay, how do I manipulate the outside and not be scared? How about I just turn myself off from any type of connection because I'm scared because all women do this or all men do this? And then, yeah. But it's still not any bigger than their consciousness is their only reality. I'm sure if you wanted to, you can go look up whatever you want and find a true story about it. Find someone that really stands by this is how it is. No matter what. No matter what. You could type in right now, I think I've talked about this in a video a long time ago. You can type in hot water is good for you, and there'll be pages on Google that it's good. You can type in cold water is good for you, and pages on that going against the hot water. Like, it doesn't matter. It's out there. All that matters is consciousness is the only reality. If you believe when someone tells you that you can't get your person, then that's on you, right? If you believe that you can, if you believe, okay, listen, this is mine, I'm going to do this because consciousness is the only reality, then that's also true. But don't let content that from someone who doesn't understand consciousness is the only reality or doesn't know about it influence you. And if you're that easily influenced, then I'd work more on my stability and my belief in inside first, outside second. I'd start there. Okay. Now, again, I'm not hating on any creators, whether they be coaches on these type of communities, whether they be dating coaches that are outside these communities and masculine and feminines. I don't really care, right? And start looking at things through like a law of assumption lens, or from like consciousness is the only reality lens. Start looking at things like that. Like if you see a male, just for the men for just a quick second, if you see like a man say, hey, you got to focus on you, you got to have a mission, you have to not chase women around, and be confident. That's how you're gonna get the girl. Be a man, right? Like, and if you look at what this person kind of listed, like, be confident, focus on you, have a mission, right? Do things that you love to do, kind of thing. Like, yeah, that person's probably not going to be needy and creating a bunch of meaning to something, creating a bunch of shit meaning to somebody's behaviors because they're kind of busy. And they're confident, so why would they be thinking that someone's going to leave them, all that good stuff, right? So, yeah, it makes sense. but like, it's not just because that's all that it is. But like the extra story of like you have to do this because like women don't care and they only care about people. It's like these things aren't true. Like they can be for many scenarios. I'm just saying, same thing on the women's side. If you hear dating advice from, you have to do this for men, you have to do this for da-da-da. Like, look at what they're saying. Look at what they're saying. Like, through the lens of consciousness is the only reality. Women, it's the same for you. If you are confident and knowing and love yourself and put yourself on like as the priority, this is going to be reflected back. It's the same for both of you, like men and women. But when you start listening to people outside of consciousness is the only reality, or even people that are in these communities that are telling you that like there's something outside of your consciousness that's influencing you, like maybe the universe has something better, right? Then you really need to look at that. Bet on you. Bet on consciousness is the only reality, no matter what. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do stuff, or that you're doing something wrong, or that like that the law only works. Someone told me about this not too long ago, that like there was someone that said the law of assumption stuff doesn't work for everybody, and it was like yes, it does. It's not a part-time gig. It either is or it isn't. Like it's not like something that just works on that person, like no. And you also want to start with source. Think about like where you're at. Are you confident? Are you living your life? Are you doing things for you? Men and women, are you doing these things? Because if you're in these kind of states, you're not really going to be needy. You're not really going to be looking for like a savior in a person and a teaching, and you're going to start to realize, okay, I'm good. And when you're confident and stable and rocking out and living your life, like you do get more of a even if somebody didn't know about law of assumption, they would have more of a take it or leave it kind of approach, like because they would respect themselves and think actually it is what it is. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't, right? And that kind of approach in general would make sure something works, because they're not going to be focused on why it wouldn't work. They would just get their reflection of them and their knowing kind of thing. So focus more on that. Bring it back to self. Don't listen. Don't even listen to me if it's something that you're like, I actually don't agree with that. Then don't. But I'm not ever going to sit here and tell you that you can't get your person, or that you're whatever. Like if you haven't been able to manifest your person, it's because you're buying into a story, or why in some way, shape, or form as to why it's not going to happen, or why or something was too much, or something was wrong with you, and they don't like that about you, and that was a deal breaker, something. But that's it. Or that you're not enough. Like it's you buying into a story. It's not because I promise you this. It's not because something is better out there. Like, granted, could you go on and date somebody and think that and eventually say it was better? But it'd be better because you said it was better. Because you said that. You're the one that says better. So anyway, remember, consciousness is the only reality. Circumstances do not matter, because circumstances are only there because they were reflecting how you were being. If you start being a different way, if you stop buying into thought from a previous identity, and you start being a different way, that circumstance has to drop, and you're going to get a whole new reflection. That's why circumstances don't matter, because they're not there on their own accord. They're there reflecting you. Men, you're not simps, right? Women, you're not pathetic. You're not whores. You're not like all like. Don't buy into these labels from outside perspective. It doesn't matter what you did. I don't care if you fucking were a little promiscuous, and men, I don't care if you were a little needy, and vice versa. I don't really care. If you step into your knowing that, like, hey, so what? I did some stuff. I'm this way, or just fully accept past and say, you know what, these things are what they are. Like I'm still God, I'm still perfect, whatever. Then watch how everybody accepts you. Watch how they do. But if you buy into all those things, you're saying, oh, men are this, women are this, and you start thinking these things about yourself because because a man tells you that you're being a simp, or a woman, or a man tells you that you're being a whore or something. Like, it doesn't matter. If you buy into it, you condemn yourself, and then the world condemns you. But if you just accept yourself and say, listen, I'm not any of those things. Number one, maybe I was a little like, no, like that's not how we're doing things. Like I'm the best, and then this is also reflected. Because circumstances don't matter. All that matters is right now. So whatever you're carrying in your consciousness right now is reflected. If you condemn yourself in the now moment and condemn yourself in your consciousness, then that is reflected. And the past will get brought up. All these things will get brought up. People will tell you that, like, oh, you did that. That's going to be hard to look past. All that stuff. But if you don't condemn yourself and you say, okay, so what? Another comment, something I really relate to is that like this guy said, hey, I got drunk and did some stuff. So I'm answering your question too. What do I do? Because like, I'm going no contact now. It's like, okay, again, same thing. I did the same thing with my wife back then. I got drunk, said some things. But as long as I condemned myself and thought that she wasn't going to forgive me and that it was too much, then that's what it was. But when I kind of stepped into the whole, like, you know what, dude, it is what it is. Like, people make mistakes, don't act ideally kind of thing. Like, it doesn't matter. I was in a state of being, now I'm this way. It's all forgiven. I'm good. I forgive myself. Then this is also reflected. So don't buy into outside shit that is even then reflection away, because a lot of times you're looking for some form of doubt, to doubt like why you're like to doubt, and some form of if you're not seeing something, doing something one way for a second, then you want to find something else, find something else, find something else. You find this coach, you find that dating person that's not in law of assumption, you find all this stuff. It's just all this information. No, consciousness is the only reality. If you're getting rocked by all this different information, then back up and start there. Bet on yourself and just rock out that way. And don't buy into a bunch of labels saying that you did because you did this, you're this way, you're too much, or whatever the case. Sorry, I use some vulgar like language as far as like, but dude, that shit's out there. And if you buy into it, then you just condemn yourself. All that matters is right now. That's it. Accept yourself fully and watch what the world does. Love yourself fully, accept yourself, whatever, and watch what the world does. If you think that it's the reasons why you think that that person's not coming back, it's the reasons why you think that you're not enough, that's the hold up. That's it. And they're just thoughts that you've believed about yourself. And then you start disidentifying with those. Those are just thoughts. Claim the new. Live your life. Don't buy into shit. I love you guys. See you soon.